everyone, and welcome back to a new video, and we are back with reading vlogs. Yay! I've been missing doing these really bad. I just finished up one and I want to read so much that I'm going to continue on to another one. If you enjoy the reading vlogs, please leave a comment below of any books that you would be interested in me reading. I have quite a few behind me. I have not done it, and I don't know if I can transfer my existing Excel file to a online version because I have it regularly on my computer. I don't know if I can transfer it to an online version without it being very complicated, but if I can, look into the comments for any. It'll probably be listed as like a book collection file. Because I have a lot of books. If you notice any behind me that you are interested in me reading, I will definitely read them on the channel. The reason I'm reading on the channel is for my husband, so he can listen to something at work where he's actually enjoying it, and he has been enjoying this book series quite a bit. So I want to try to finish up the first book so I can read the second book, because I've actually already read this book before. And I told him about it because on my TBR jar, I drew the second book and I told him about it, and he's like, I'm actually kind of interested in that. Would you read me the first book? So that's what we're doing. So I'm just putting it on YouTube so he has access to it, because I don't have any other way that I can give it to him unless I just do a random recording and just send it to him, which isn't as fun. Chapter 22. The breach in the Electrodome closes after I dash through. Still feeling conspicuous, I don't stop until the tree branches envelop me. Gasping, I turn. Guardians swarm the yard in front of the detention center. Jason and Lena are already cleared away. Are they dead? That's in her head. Tears down the corner of my eyes. Tears burn the corner of my eyes, but I squeeze my lids to squinch them away. Squinch. It's a weird word. I need to put the book where you guys can't see it, but I can. Tears burn the corners of my eyes, but I squeeze my lids to squinch them away. The drones haven't detected me yet, otherwise they'd be out here. One drone floats toward the edge of the electrodome, and a scanner beam combs over the perimeter. I crouch behind a tree and grit my teeth when the scan reaches the same spot we exited. The light seems to slow when it hits the spot, but then the Guardian moves on and continues to the right. A steady stream of air escapes through my parted lips. Meyer, I whisper. Are they with you? Meyer replies in my ear. Lena's comm went out. You didn't see? I just ran. You all were right behind me. His voice quakes. Meyer, I'm sorry. He curses and the comm goes silent. I need to reach you. Can you find somewhere to stop? I ask, even though I would have never gotten myself into this without the stupid idea of tracking him. I'm thankful his locator still works in my EP. At least he's alive for now. Yeah, he whispers. There's a spot further up with better cover. Meyer marks 3 minutes 15 seconds ahead to the southwest. On my way. The EP guides me through the thick trees without too much effort, and by the time I reach him, other than a few scrapes, I'm safe. Meyer's hidden under the foliage of a fallen tree, and I lift a dry branch and climb inside. He sits with his knees pressed to himself, and Sandra, I'm going to keep saying Sandra, lies on the ground, curled up like a child. She's maybe 19 or so. Her face twists toward me, and my stomach lurches. The skin surrounding both eyes is colored with bruises, and her sable lips and cheeks are murried with dry blood. For a second, her eyelids flit, revealing the brightest sparkling blue eyes contrast with bloodshot whites. As fast as they opened, they shut. They flutter shut. What happened? He says, without looking toward me. The drone came faster than we expected and scanned Jason. I placed Meyer's weapon beside him. Lena accidentally turned back, and the thing scanned her. Meyer's face falls, and the veins in his neck pulsing. For a moment, he stands, silent, but then curses, and storms out of the hiding place, leaving me with the girl. Fear shudders through my body. What if he gets caught? There's a dying person here I have no idea what to do with. I rush out and find him crouched just outside, his head in his hands. It wasn't your fault. Yes, it was, he mumbles. If I would have stuck to the plan, I would have been the one helping Jason. You and Lena would have gotten out. Lena agreed with you, remember? I remind him. Please, come inside. It's not safe out here. Meyer nods and rises to come back. Maybe it was me. I had no idea what I was doing back there. He shakes his head, looking me straight in the eye. No. You were amazing. None of us would have made it out if it weren't for whatever you did. Something about him right now gives me the urge to go to him, hold him, but instead he breaks our connection and bends to stroke the girl's hair. I flinch at him touching her. It's stupid. Selfish. This lifeless girl on the ground probably wouldn't make it, and I barely know Meyer. Who is she? Meyer stops stroking her hair. Sandra, the girl you saw on the street a couple weeks ago. She was captured. The feeling in my stomach warns me not to ask. No, I know that. Who is she to Jason? He told you to get her. Oh, Sandra is Jason's daughter. No, I forgot about that. Damn. Okay. I'm getting back. She's your sister? Part of me is relieved, but then ashamed at my jealousy. Yes and no. She's Jason's bio daughter. He answers and returns to stroking her hair. We grew up together in the Outer Bounds. When we were old enough, she joined Affinity and started working missions in and out of the city. A few years later, I followed her. Jason worried, but he couldn't stop us. We can both be loose cannons. It's why she ended up like this. She wasn't the one who was supposed to do that graffiti work. My stomach churns, and I squeeze around my middle to try to make it go away. It doesn't work. Thoughts, feelings of loss, and desire swirl in my brain. I've never had to do much with emotions, except crush them into the unseen, dark depths. But these beg for exposure. I bring my hands to my face and try to control both the tears and words. Both spill out anyway. I just left them. I breathe. I didn't do anything but run, and now Lena's going to die too. She believed in me. No one has ever done that. Sobs mix between choked gasps, and we didn't get Jason out. Then these dumb feelings I've never experienced. As the words escape, I slap my hands over my mouth and turn away from Meyer. He pricks over my cheeks. I wipe my eyes and scramble to hide what Meyer doesn't even appear to notice. Lena destroyed her EP, I whisper. Meyer lowers his chin. Smart girl, he murmurs. I already wiped out her Affinity account. It would have taken time for them to break in through her flex. If they could, but now they'll get nothing. I gestured to Sandra. Did you give her anything yet? I administered the med tech back there, but it's not working. They must have deactivated her healing nanos, and I have no idea how to get them working again. I slump and sweep my hand through my hair. The tangles catch, and my scalp smarts. For a few moments, we sit there, quiet, but I can't hold in my thoughts. What about Lena and Jason? And how do we get back to the city? I didn't even know if Meyer thought we would make it this far. He grimaces. A couple areas around the city are generally easier to pass through. Level 1 isn't a prime choice. Intel came in on my EP that they've bumped security already. Wouldn't want usable bodies escaping. Usable bodies, I echo. Direction can accomplish two things at once by drafting level 1 citizens, he explains, reduce their population and rid themselves of affinity when they convert ones into soldiers. Now they're valuable assets. I don't know what to say to this. He's right. Direction has worked for years to dispose of level 1s, all under the disguise of advancement. You didn't answer my other question. Myers massages his neck. It feels like a long time before he speaks. Nothing. We're not doing anything about Jason and Lena. No, we can't leave them, says in her head. My mouth hangs open, but Myers right. We can't do anything. Going back is pointless. Death. But he's your father. And Lena? Myers quiet. He only goes back to tend to Sandra. Where will you take her? I ask. I have to move her to an infinity camp. Once located not too far from here, the medics should be able to help her restart the nanos. I don't understand. Why disable them in the first place? Simple, to make her suffer. Sandra moans and her body begins to jerk. Meyer brushes her arms, but the shaking transforms into convulsing. He slips his hand under her neck and raises her head as Sandra's body continues withering. Is she going to die? I ask, horrified. Meyer's eyes radiate a mixture of terror and pleading. I don't know. How should I know? Medical problems like this don't even happen anymore. Meyer grabs my hand. What if you could do something? Panic seeps through me. Hack her? I can't hack a person. Meyer pulls Sandra over his legs, her body still withering. Not her, the nanos. If we can patch you into their system, maybe you can reactivate them. My gut wrenches. That's a bad idea. I've played a part in enough people's deaths today. She could die anyway. Meyer raises his voice, but then looks around and whispers, it wouldn't hurt to try. His eyes are pleading. My intertwined fingers squeeze together, and I try to hide my face with them. I don't even understand this yet. Try anyway, Meyer begs. Sandra's body still withers, and her lips turn purple. My mind moves to thoughts of Ben, my twin. If I had the chance to save him, no matter how small, I would go back and do it. This is Meyer's sister. I have to help him. See if you can link us. He picks up his handheld from the dirt and with a shaking hand taps and slides over the screen. I can't log on to her due to the deactivation, Meyer mumbles. A few curses unknown to me, and as if the whole screen takes place underwater. As if the whole scene takes place underwater. Sandra's body convulses in slow motion, and the words Meyer mouths refuse to reach my ears. I scoot in toward Sandra and nestle my fingers into hers. Everything's dim. My breath hitches. The underwater experience fades, but now there's nothing. What did I do before? My mind is as blank as my surroundings. Please make this work. Nothing. Maybe I'm dead now too. Please, I beg, please take me to Sandra's nanosystem. White replaces the nothing. I'm alone, and the space shimmers and falls around me. I catch one of the pieces in my palm. It glows, resting in my hand for a moment, and then blows away as if wind took it. Along with the one in my palm, the snow disappears and leaves me in a white room. 10 white drones lie on the ground. Instead of long metal tentacles, they have delicate spider like legs coming from their bottoms. They're nanos. At least I think they are. I dash toward one of them and throw myself on the ground, next to it. I run my hand over the top, and a cylindrical panel rises, revealing a small screen. The screen lights, and I jump back when the white scrolling code pops up into the air. After a second, I lean in to watch it pass. Suddenly, I don't feel well. My lungs can't get enough air, and I gasp to take more in. The white shrouds my vision again, and everything goes so white I throw my hands over my eyes. Pain shoots through me as a slow vibration takes over. A scream forms in my throat and sticks there. I have to do this. I can't let her die. All around me, the room slowly dissipates and scatters. And shatters. Nope, scatters. I was right. No, no, no. Come back. But it doesn't. I'm only left in utter darkness, alone. Fear rips through me. What if I die here? The space around fades to gray. I shoot up and suck in breath. Meyer bends over me, clenching at my upper arms, digging his fingers into my flesh. His face gone white. Sweat beads the sides of his jaw, and he bites at his bottom lip so hard it might bleed. What happened? He demands, a look of terror still gripping him. Choking, I sit up and try to remember. I couldn't do it. Meyer relaxes a bit, and the corners of his lips even turn up slightly. But you did, see? He turns toward Sandra. The seizing has stopped and her body has relaxed. I'm not positive, but her face might have softened. Is she alive? I grab her and check her wrist for a pulse. Thump, thump. 70 beats a second. Blinks in green in my EP. Whatever you did, it worked. But it caused you to have a seizure too. It's like you took it on. Meyer stares at me, eyes wide and glassy. I can't tell if he's grateful or terrified. I thought you were dead. To be honest, I'm a bit terrified of myself at this point. After a moment, he shakes his head. I need to get Sandra to a safe location, and you need to get home. Do you think you can stand? I nod. He snatches his device from the ground. Affinity has a few guys on the inside that should be patrolling the perimeter today. The level 2 entrance to the city is approximately 7.5 miles from here. Guardian security will be high through the forest and at your entry point, so you're going to need to follow the EP's direction precisely. It will alert me when you arrive. Once inside, my buddy will meet you and get you to a secure area. After that, head immediately to Gentech. Meyer goes back to his flex. Should be set. The coordinates are uploaded. The viewer will map everything, but you still need the password. I'll send it to your EP. Wait, what? I ask, you're not coming? He tips his head. I need to get Sandra. I need to take Sandra, remember? Even if you got the nanos working, she needs more medical attention. You can do this. I didn't even think I would make it this far. What's one more thing? Fine, I relent. Just keep me updated on what's going on. He nods. Otherwise, you're likely to come after me. But for now, I'm deactivating the comm and your tracker on me. You can't know where I'm going in case. He stops talking, but I know exactly what he means. In case I get caught. Hours later, and without a goodbye, I climb out from the shelter and disappear into the trees. The still dark sky meets me. 1 hour, 39 minutes at current pace to destination. I can't move too quickly since the curfew is still in effect, so this walking rate is best. However, with each step, my legs grow tired and heavy. Exhaustion sets in from the night, and any bit of adrenaline my body kicked out earlier has dissipated. I can't help thinking about Lena. If she made it out, she would have been with me. She'd know what to do. Hot tears sting the corners of my eyes while thick foliage pokes into me. A drone whizzes overhead, scanning the area, and my EP warns me to stay under cover as I skitter next to the nearest tree. As I continue my journey, the sky brightens into pink streaks. Near the entry point, a few more guardians drift through the sky, probably searching for Sandra. I still have no idea who the guard contact is. I need to trust that Meyer ended up contacting with him, but he still hasn't sent me the code word. The perimeter is thick with security, but most are SI instructions. Start scrolling for me to run toward the perimeter, and a countdown begins. Don't think, just do, I tell myself. I close my eyes for a second and sprint to the back of a guard station and crouch on the left side. For my next set of instructions, the counter keeps moving. Still no code, no instructions, no weapon. No way this will work. It's not giving me my odds. Probably on purpose. 5, 4, 3. I can either turn back or make a break for it. Human Guardian, 10 feet. Or surrender. 2, 1. I gulp. Then stand and start to raise my hands. Halt, a woman's voice says from behind me as a cold metal pokes my back. Code from contact. You're in a conundrum. Answer, yes, the beach is sandy. A little too late, Meyer. On the ground, the guard commands. I do as she says. I have to dispose of my EP, but I can't do it in here without her seeing. I stiffen as she pats me to check for a weapon, and then she doesn't find any. And when she doesn't find anything, she pulls me up and slaps security cuffs around my wrists, numb. I don't even resist. You're in a conundrum, she mumbles. Head down. My eyes widen and I choke out. Yes, the beach is sandy. The guard gives me a hint of a smile. Now shut up. We need to get you to Gen Tech. And that ends at chapter 22. Chapter 23. The human guardian grips my arm, but I can't even feel it. In a few moments, I find myself stuffed into the back of a security vehicle and told to trust the driver. If anyone asks, you were harassed by level 1s and security aided you. We'll take care of the rest, the guard says before she turns to leave. After a few blocks, the driver pulls the vehicle up to the side of an apartment building close to Gentech and stops. This is as far as I can take you, he says. Security's too high today. He sweeps his hand over the front screen and the door slides back. After that, the driver moves from his seat to the street and takes my arm to help me out. I slip from the seat and plunk my feet onto the street. Thank you. Do you need any assistance, officer? The cold voice makes my gut sink, and I pivot toward its owner. A metallic guardian hovers to the side of my driver. No, he says. This level 2 citizen was harassed by several level 1s. We resolved the issue, and I'm escorting her. The report is in my account. He holds out his handheld for the drone. A tentacle extends from its body and drifts forward to scan the flex. All I want to do is stare at my feet, but I force my gaze up and straighten my spine. Please, I'm already behind. There are important duties at Genesis Technologies that I don't wish to miss. The drone finishes the scan and retracts its limbs. Guardian Folly, please return to your duties, the drone says. Miss Lark, on behalf of the direction, we apologize for your inconvenience. Do you need further aid? No. Thank you for your service to direction, the Guardian drone says before it turns to hover away. Anytime, I mumble. But the driver is already in the vehicle and pulling off from the curb. I droop slightly and grab my handheld from my wrist to check my messages. One from Kyra and one new spouse pairing request. I swipe Kyra's. Flex 35D52G. K. Lewis. I need to meet after work today. I stop and stare at the screen. I'm not even sure how to make it through the day, let alone meet with Kyra. But I do need a friend right now, and she's the only one I have left. Flex 682AB1. A. Lark. Sure, no problem. Meet me out front of Gentech. I trudge to work feeling heavy and dreading the day ahead. My mind wanders to Meyer. Did they make it? As I approach, my reflection shows in the glass of the building. Surprisingly, I'm not too disheveled. I doubt I smell great, but no, one gets near enough to care. I push my hair behind my ears, enter through the door, and after a quick trip to the restroom to freshen up, I check in, stomach rumbling. After gulping down breakfast from the eating area, I ride the elevator to floor 18. Inside, I slump into the corner of the lift and drop my head back. When a woman turns towards me, I straighten. She eyes me for a beat more, then resumes her attention to the door, which must be fascinating. At each floor, my mind and body grows increasingly numb, and by the time the chime sounds for my stop, my lids flutter open to an empty space. Did I fall asleep? I straighten, take a breath, and step out of the elevator. Daniel is waiting. Of course. It's like this guy has a tracker on me too. Why did I never set my EP to alert me when he was around? I move to the side, but he follows. Why were you in direction security vehicle? He asks. What? He crosses his arms, making himself appear bulkier, probably intended. You heard me. I saw you getting out of a vehicle. Without speaking, I intend to make a beeline for the InfoSec suite, but my brain isn't sharp at the moment. Nothing. It was nothing. I say, catching his glare. A level 1 citizen approached me. Daniel's eyes form into slits and bore into me. The stare brings a lump high in my throat, and I try to swallow it. But security took care of it and escorted me to work. I push my shoulders back and look at him. Direction takes care of level 2 and 3 citizens. You, of anyone, should know this. His body tenses even more. He doesn't break the stare. My mind reaches for something that will make him leave, and not that I should tell you this, but I've been commissioned with a special project. A sneer starts to overtake Daniel's face, but he controls it, and the anger only simmers in his eyes. What kind of project? He says through his teeth. A special project to help direction identify angry, undesirable before it's too late. I furrow my eyebrows, and I'd swear a low growl comes from his throat. Daniel steps to the side and toward the closed doors of the elevator. I start toward the suite, but from the corner of my eye, I see his hand whip up toward the side of my neck. What's this? I freeze and turn my head enough to see what he holds. But I already know what it is. The necklace. The chain must have come out of my shirt. I grab for the jewelry and stuff it in. But he's seen it, heart charm and all. Just a meaningless childhood keepsake, I managed to lie. Simply haven't had time to get rid of it. I'd forgotten I had it on. A keepsake. Daniel leans in towards me. Sounds very undesirable. Daniel, unless you have proof I'm doing anything other than maintaining my focus, I'd suggest you worry more about your own distractions. I spin and rush toward my cubicle, but I still catch his last word as I make it through the door. Oh, and Evelyn, you stink. Hygiene is important. I don't turn back. I hurry to my cubicle, slamming my flex onto the desk. After that, I launch my Gentech account on the viewer to check the daily projects. Please, no Daniel. Please, no Daniel. I scan the list of tasks, finding there aren't any group projects today. The swimming in my head slows. Just a day of tapping away at blissful code, unnoticed, and staying awake. Throughout the day, the screen keeps going blurry, and several times I catch myself dozing off. At the end of my shift, I'm nowhere near completing the task list, but I need to go home to bed. I have no doubt the mistakes riddle my work. When I try to stand, my muscles resist and burn, but I push up anyway. Take my handheld and use the elevator. No stairs today. Exiting the building, my mind is filled with fantasies of my bed and a shower. Then a vibration comes from my pocket. I pull out my flex and tap the screen. Kyra. Sorry I'm late. I'll be there in a few minutes. I forgot about Kyra. Ugh. I could already feel the water pouring over my skin. I shuffle through the other citizens to prop myself on the Gentech building and wait. I could fall asleep right there. My eyes snap open. Thanks for waiting, Kyra says. I really needed to talk in person. Something about her is off. The pride I saw in her the other day is gone, and all that was left is nervous energy. Her eyes shift to a passing citizen. Are you okay? I ask, resisting the newfound urge to place my hand on her shoulder. For one, Kyra's not used to being touched, and a public display would be risky anyway. Kyra hugs herself uncomfortably, looking as if isn't a place for her hands. Just get me out of here. Where do you want to go? There aren't many choices. We could take the long way to. I want to go to your unit. My eyes grow wide, but that could draw attention. I don't care. Kyra looks at me with pleading eyes. Talking in the open is not an option. Fine, let's go. Wordlessly, Kyra and I walk the several blocks to my building. She follows me into the front entrance and the elevator. When doors uncover the hall, I motion to step out but freeze. Lena's door. I clench my jaw and swallow the lump in my throat. What's wrong? Kyra asks as she steps in front of me. Nothing, I reply, but my voice trembles. I force myself towards my apartment door, keeping my gaze from Lena's. She's not coming back. This is it. Is all I can muster. Gesturing at the door, she looks back toward the elevator as if to make sure we had not been followed. Can we go inside? I tap the security pad and the door slides clear. Kyra rushes past me straight toward the window, dropping her bag in the middle of the room along the way. What an amazing view, she whispers. My unit is nowhere near as prime. Yeah, it's nice, and I'm sure your apartment is lovely. I plop on the couch and let out an unintended groan. She turns my way. It's fine. Are you sure you're all right? Yes. A flash of Lena's crumbling to the ground flashes through my brain. and I shake my head to focus. Kyra wouldn't have come here if it weren't important. But you have something you wanted to talk about. Kyra leaves the window and sits beside me. I do. A pained look sweeps over her face, but she says nothing else. She's stalling. Why would she risk coming to my apartment and then not tell me why? How have your spouse pairing appointments been going? She asked finally. I let out a sigh. You came here to talk about pairings? There's no way that's what this is all about. I didn't just come here to talk about that. Kyra chews on her lip and sadness darkens her eyes. Work has been so busy, there's been no time to meet with any of mine. I thought you'd be messaging your pairings on the first day, securing the best of the best. She shrugs. I did, but I have no time for meetings. Kyra sits silent, eyes glued to her wrinkled hands. Do you have something else you wanted to tell me? I ask. Because if not, I'd like to grab a shower and crawl into bed. She said that in her head. Yes, she lets out a long sigh, but I don't know where to start. You know you can tell me anything. And that's why I'm here. There's no one else I could trust. Tears well in Kyra's eyes. Once, I cried in front of her after admitting I still missed Ben. She never said anything about it to anyone, but I've never seen this girl even come close to shedding a tear. My stomach knots, and I straighten from my slouch, feeling immediately guilty. I wanted her to leave so I could get cleaned up. What's going on? Where to begin? Kyra buries her head in her hands and quietly sobs. When I started in the level 2 representative's office department brain, it was going smoothly. I actually loved it. But then something happened. My first thought is that she could have been approached by Affinity, too. No, not Kyra. Representative Aries was assigning me a lot of responsibilities, and so we started spending more time together. The job felt important, right? He told me I'd quickly move up in position when he started keeping me at the office and calling me in early. He wanted me there just after morning curfew lifted. I was flattered. I'm a hard worker and I deserve to be noticed for my achievements. But then one day, when I got there early before anyone else, her voice wavers. When I got into his office, he locked the door. Suddenly, Kyra throws her arms around me in something she has never done and weeps onto my shoulder. The shock of it takes me aback, but I return the embrace and pull her into me. Kyra, what happened? I ask. She withdraws slightly. He knew what my parents had done to advance my career configuration. It was illegal, and if Direction found out, she speaks so quickly, I barely get all of her words. It feels a million years ago when Kyra mentioned her parents pulling some strings. I never imagined they would actually be able to change anything, let alone it to be something illegal. It all seemed like talk. After that, he wouldn't allow me to leave, and horror blanks her face. Oh, Evelyn, what if I'm pregnant? I'll never be chosen as a pairing. I'll lose my job. In my shock, I tried to gather my thoughts, tell her something to make this right. You need to report him. He can't do that. Kyra's body goes stiff. He threatened me, told me if I'd said anything, he'd expose me and my parents, ruin us. I tried to make him stop by telling him I could get pregnant, but he said not to worry. There's med tech he could get for it. Affinity could help her, get her out of the city, but I have no idea if it's a solution Kyra would accept. It might be her only option. I stroke Kyra's back as she continues to cry, holding back my own tears to be strong for her. There could be a way to help you. Kyra looks up at me, and opens her mouth to speak just as loud footsteps sound from the hall. She leaps to her feet. What is that? Were we followed? I rush to check the security viewer and find a group of human guardians with the direction logo on their uniforms entering Lena's apartment across the hall. I close my eyes, somehow hoping to will them away. Kyra stands shaking next to me, staring at the screen. The last of the security team enters and they shut the door behind me. I don't know why I came. She races back to her bag, plucking it from the middle of my floor. What were you supposed to do for me? I shouldn't even be here, and now there are guardians over there and I should go. She makes for the door. Kyra, I plead, just wait until they're gone. We can figure something out. But truthfully, all I can think is that I'm next. They could be in my apartment any second. She straightens, wipes her eyes, and reaches to smooth her golden hair. I'm fine. Forget about me. It's best for both of us. Kairos checks the viewer and slips out my front door. I race to the opening, but she glances back and gives me a look warning me not to follow. Back inside my unit, exhaustion and fear consumes me. I rub my clammy face and park my body right next to the door, waiting for them to take me away, pulse racing. What do I do, Ben? He doesn't answer. After about 30 minutes, footsteps sound in the corridor again, and my heart, which had calmed, pounds violently against my chest. I watch on the screen as the guardians exit Lena's, but instead of coming here, they leave. I stare at Lena's door through the viewer, guilt pulsing over me. Why did I leave her? Finally, I sigh, then shuffle into the kitchen for food. The order display blurs in and out, and hopefully something edible comes out. The timer dings, and a bowl of steaming soup with a spoon inside sits on the tray. Feeling sick to my stomach, I force the soup down in nearly one gulp. The empty bowl clinks to the counter, and then I walk to the bedroom while pulling off my nearly cemented clothes, dropping them along the way. I grapple in my drawer for a night shirt and fresh underwear, pull them on, and slump under the sheets on my bed, not even bothering to remove the EP. And that is the end of chapter 23. So if you enjoyed this reading vlog, please make sure to put some sugar on that like button. Comment down below if anything you would like to see, any other books you would like me to read, and subscribe for more of my content. Bye!